A moment for ACC Unity ahead of ACC Unity Week coming up. Underway in men's soccer on a Friday night. Duke and Wake Forest getting us started. Clemson and NC State will meet later. We'll keep you updated on just what has transpired and what will come this weekend in the ACC. Fascinating race this fall with 11 of the 12 teams in the conference making up the bulk of the men's soccer action in this fall season. With the Olympic gold medalist Angela Hucles, I'm Jonathan Yardley, so let's get it started, of course, with Hucles Hacks.
Yeah, looking at Wake Forest, wanting them to start strong from the very beginning, not allowing Duke to build up any confidence and possession in this first half, the first few minutes of the game, and then also keeping that ball, but in the final third. They want to possess in a smart geographic location, so holding that ball in the final third to create some opportunities.
Stephen O'Connell, number 2. We'll take another throw. What are the keys for Duke, Angela?
For Duke, definitely finding some opportunities, but being efficient on those opportunities and those chances that they do create. And then also what they've already started doing, just that press and getting in that final third with Wake Forest, but making sure they put them under pressure and not allow them that time to build up.
Taylor tried to chest that down for a teammate, didn't come off. This is Peter Stroud, stripped by Holland Rula, number 4, the Wake Forest left back. Bobby Muse telling us his last game and a half, or maybe the best of his career. Trying to build off that and continue. We told you for Wake, no Isaiah Parente in the midfield. It's injury, not COVID related. They'll also be without Michael DeShields, who had that scary injury in preseason that will likely keep him out all fall. And we won't see Justin McMaster today, but that's just precautionary. He made his first appearance following last year's ACL injury over the weekend, and you just want to give him a little bit of extra time after that first game back. And then Aristotle Zaris, who also had an ACL injury last year, is still working back, hoping for a spring return. And yet, despite not being full strength, right, I just listed some pretty good names. Wake is still Wake, and they have high expectations. Machope Chol dealing with 3, and it'll be a Demon Deacon throw-in.
Just looking at that confidence that Chol has on the ball, trying to take on and break down that Duke defense.
Offside flag up from the throw-in. It'll be a Duke free kick.
He's definitely a player that will need to really bring that energy, the dynamic play that he does in the offense, especially with the lack of Parentes in this match right now. He's obviously one of those players they already look to, but bearing a little bit more of that responsibility in today's match.
Machope Chol is just one of the most fun players to watch in the ACCs. The long, lanky number 21 on the bottom of your picture for Wake Forest. Born in Sudan, moved to Georgia when he was 2. That's a rough back pass for Pulisic, who did well to get anything on it and avoid an own goal. You always want to pass back to a goalkeeper somewhere where if he misses it, it doesn't go in. Angela, how about this South region? Wake Forest, number 2 in the country. Clemson, number 3, plays in the nightcap. North Carolina is in that top 5, having just beaten Clemson and then went to overtime with Wake Forest. I mean, it's a gauntlet, Bobby Muse told us, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, it's so close in terms of, at any point, in terms of even what Bobby Muse told us, any team can really win the game. And so being prepared and not really taking any team lightly, none of these teams can afford to do that with the competitive nature of the ACC, but especially within this region.
Up in the North region, there were 3 teams that entered the day with a 0 goal difference. Same number of goals scored as goals allowed. Virginia, Louisville, at Notre Dame, and that's what Duke enters with as well in conference play. As Ian Wright recovers to tackle Scholl and play it out. Ian Murphy, I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
I think an Arsenal there, Ian Wright. Thinking LAFC for you, Angela?
Easy to get confused with his colors, too.
Takuma Suzuki for Wake. And we love being able to hear from the sidelines. Bobby Muse telling Jake Swallen, 24, you got to go to the ball rather than try and shield that. It worked out okay for Wake Forest here. They will get a corner kick.
You see that just pressure, throwing numbers up there. Rula getting in there on the flank as well. This is what they want to continue to do, to build, possess that ball, be patient in the attacking third, shift Duke from side to side to find those opportunities.
Hernandez, the sophomore, plays in the game's first corner, looking for Harris, 22. Not out yet. Scholl over on that far side, trying to combine with Holcomb, who wears number 3. Taylor and Rula into the tackle, and Wake Forest will keep it. Angela, this Duke team looks different from a lot of the recent Duke teams. They want to press higher. There's a lot more energy with and without the ball, but I mean, Wake Forest is a possession team known for keeping the ball. This is kind of a different challenge than what they've seen a whole lot of.
And Duke, I think, does have a little bit more confidence, dare I say, swagger to them this season especially. And they've realized that they do have that ability. They have the depth in order to start pressing teams like Duke, like Wake Forest, but also to continue that pressure, not really take that foot off the pedal, so to speak.
You could say swagger, that's all right. Bring it.
Dare I say swagger?
Yeah.
Definitely the energy, you can just tell the difference.
Be among those who dare to dare. Duke going forward here. John Brady, the referee, says you went down too easily. But here's that Duke repress, able to win it back. Peter Stroud with the turn and draws the foul from the right back, Christian Escribano.
Stroud does a nice job just really holding on to that ball and making that spin turn to draw that foul out. If he tried to go in a different direction, probably would not have been able to create that contact there. And a good opportunity and position for Duke here.
Stroud, highly rated freshman from Chester, New Jersey. One of the many New York Red Bulls connections in this game. Daniel Wright to deliver the free kick. Well, too much on that. And Duke will be frustrated. They use set pieces to their advantage against NC State, but they've also had some trouble defending them this year. Nico Benalcazar, sophomore center back out of the New York City FC Academy. You're going to hear a lot about MLS academies here. Both these teams draw heavily from them, Wake Forest especially. And late tackle on Benalcazar. Brady saw it. You expect a yellow card maybe coming at the next stoppage. Advantage played to Wake Forest. And now that will get adjudicated. And it's Peter Stroud, who was just in on the previous play, was asking for a yellow card on Escribano. And now he's going to get at least a talking to. No yellow card? He's trying to apologize, and Benalcazar kind of holding up his arms like, really? And again, these guys have played against each other for a long time. Stroud grew up in New Jersey playing for the Red Bulls, and Benalcazar is from Connecticut playing for NYCFC. Stroud spent the last 2 years in England with West Ham.
And you could see the pressure Stroud was putting up there against that defensive line. And then you could see Benalcazar fall to the ground. So from our angle, it did look like some contact was made.
Well, and John Brady signaled that he saw it and was playing advantage, but usually when he makes a point of pointing to the player who committed the foul, it means I'm going to go back and give him a yellow.
Yeah.
Right, he's pointing so his assistants. Yeah, he's pointing so his assistants can take the number and tell him who to give the yellow to when play stops, but in this case, felt it was too early in the game, I suppose. And now another free kick for Daniel Wright and Duke. Some of their best dead ball delivery actually comes off the bench with Gardarson and the freshman Periano. And they're not in the game yet, so this is the senior Daniel Wright, 2 goals this year. Andrew Pannenberg, unusual muff, but able to dive on it. Calvin Harris kept that in. Wake Forest, again, 3rd game in 11 days. So a week and a half ago Tuesday, they played at Clemson. Lost late in that one, really frustrated to lose. That's always a kind of a classic regular season matchup when Wake and Clemson play. I mean, they've had some crazy finishes over the years. Took a lot out of them, and then they recovered to play North Carolina on Sunday. Very different game as Stroud tries to combine with Connor Kelly here. In tight space, Wright trying to get a shot away and bends it wide. It did take a deflection. A corner kick coming.
To your point, Jonathan, that is a quick turnaround to not just have those 3 games in a tight turnaround, but to have your legs. And right now, Wake under a lot of defensive effort right now here. And you can just see, again, trying to put so much pressure on the ball in tight spaces. Duke holding on to that ball, and you can see a little slip there. And actually, I'm not sure.
I don't think there was.
I saw the deflection on that, but
the Wake Forest reactions, everybody was headed upfield.
Looked like Wright just slipped, but.
Antino Lopez denied by Pannenberg from that corner. Duke on attacking set pieces, and they're still with it. Kelly's cross. It'll be another corner for Duke, but a great chance for the Blue Devils to open the scoring.
Lopez was, I think, on the 6-yard box there and just jumps up over to get ahead on that. Machop did not get up.
Lopez the target again, this time couldn't turn it toward goal. And it'll be a goal kick for Pannenberg. Antino Lopez, center back from the Seattle Sounders Academy. And Shattuck St. Mary's, the Minnesota prep school before that. But actually where I was going with all of that was that the Sunday game against North Carolina, the shots were 8-6. I mean, you play 97 minutes and the teams only combined to take 14 shots. And Wake is okay with that because it meant they had the ball. And when they have the ball, they're not going to be scored on. And you're kind of seeing some of that today. Wake is comfortable with the ball. And yeah, they're going to outshoot their opponent, but you don't see a lot of games where Wake has 20, 25 shots, even though they'll control the ball. They're much more patient and like to wait for the prime opportunities.
And that's why it's so important for them to possess and hold on to that ball in that attacking third, because they are a good possession-oriented team. That just prevents those mistakes from happening in a much dangerous position on the field.
Matthias Frick out of the back. His pass picked off by Hernandez. Here's Jake Swallen for Wake with a neat turn. Trying to find Holcomb. Frick is there. But it falls to Holcomb. He's now second in the ACC after Valentin Noel scored his 5th of the year for Pitt against Louisville this afternoon in a 4-1 Pitt win. So Holcomb a chance to match that total tonight. 16th minute, and the second Wake Forest corner comes back to Hernandez. No problem for Will Pulisic, senior from Mechanicsville, Virginia. He's been ever present for 4 years at Wake after a gap year at Borussia Dortmund alongside his cousin Christian, who you may have heard of.
Such a strong presence back there in that, consistent, reliable, obviously excellent at his job, saving, and really great shot stopper. But to have that type of leadership on that back line and reliability is something that Duke has definitely been able to lean upon for their defense this season.
The numbers are down this year, and it's a relatively small sample size, but we're talking a save percentage under 50%, which speaks to the quality of the chances he's dealing with, of course, but will also be a frustrating factor for Pulisic. It's tough to read into goalkeeper stats too much, especially in 5 games. Holcomb chasing this one, battling with Lopez, who holds him off here. And this is Cinti Clements, freshman from the Seattle Sounders Academy, like Lopez, making his first collegiate start, only his 2nd game. He has a grand total of 7 minutes to his credit. The full name is Sintayu, but we're saying Cinti because that's what John Kerr calls him and because it's easier.
Yeah, I'm totally excited for this opportunity to start getting this match, get some good game minutes, helping to add to his experience as well.
Amir Daly red-carded. Another freshman who had been playing that right back spot and was a big part of this pressing Duke look. Stephen O'Connell going forward. Wright trying to play a 1-2 with Taylor, and Suzuki intervened and then drew the foul and restarts quickly.
That's the type of movement, though. You want to see those quick passes. O'Connell just so fast to move after he passes the ball, making those combination plays.
Machop Chol. Now, as a fan, Angela, I'm watching that. I'm saying he's one-on-one against the left back. Why doesn't he take him on? And the decision was to keep the ball for Wake here.
And again, playing into the style that they do so well with. They have to be patient, look for their opportunities, but recognize when it is time to take on versus when they keep that ball, hold out, recycle it.
All right, so if you're a winger, you're looking for the right occasion to go 1v1. What identifiers are you looking for saying, all right, this is my time to shine?
If there's no defender behind that initial defender you're looking to take on, you have some space, that's definitely the opportunity. Your proximity to goal as well. I mean, with the speed and quickness Machop Chol has, he's so dynamic and quick. He has that ability even if there's a second defender in his way.
4 goals, 8 assists last year for Chol, led the team in assists. 5 and 7 the year before. There's Chol. He's 21 now. Finished in the Atlanta United Academy. He was one of a number of refugees that they'd had trouble kind of convincing to leave their original club due to the loyalty. But when the pro team, the MLS team, Atlanta United, came in, Tony Annan running that academy was able to bring in a lot of the area's top talent under one banner, and Scholl was part of that. Swallen's delivery, that hit off the crossbar and in, bar down. Calvin Harris, what kind of a finish was that? That'll start your weekend off right.
Fantastic build-up here. We talked about that patience earlier, Jonathan. You could see what Wake Forest is doing, the build-up. Machop Joel finally winds up with that ball, but then Calvin Harris with that bent curvature on the ball to hit probably the crossbar and the post to get that ball back over the finish line, putting Wake up 1-0. Fantastic finish by Harris.
Wow. Calvin Harris, 3 goals and 2 assists on the year now. And that was special. One time hit 2 of the 3 posts on the same play and hit the top of the net, right? Bulged it. I mean, that's some kind of finish. And he's played up front at times with Holcomb dropping out wide. The amount of talent Wake Forest can put in the attacking third is downright scary. And this is, again, McMaster and Zaris aren't even healthy.
Yeah, when you think about this team at full strength, I mean, that is a scary thing if you're not on Wake Forest.
First save for Andrew Pannenberg in the Wake Forest goal this evening. Redshirt junior from Charlotte.
You could see how far Pannenberg had stepped outside the box even just to win that line. That's something that he's been doing really well, helping to maintain possession and not start any counterattacks as well.
The first shot of the game by Wake Forest, and it was well worth waiting for. We told you they were going to be patient and pick the right shot, yeah? Not sure that was how they drew it up, but it's certainly one they'll take. This is Holcomb. To the right back, Escribano, out of the FC Dallas Academy. Harris was anxious to jump for that one, but didn't have the timing down.
And we talked about the efficiency of chances for Duke, but clearly Wake converting quickly. And sometimes that's really hard to play against defensively when you have a team, not only are they possessing the ball and holding out so much, but you have to stay so alert and be so mentally focused, because just in a quick transition, in a quick moment, they can be lethal.
Make sure you guys check in if you want to go in the next time, okay? Take a step back.
Now, Wright had a lot to say to Benalcazar after that tackle. Duke thinking Benalcazar is going down easily, and Wright gets the yellow card for his trouble. I don't usually see a center back drawing that much ire. And he was set to come off anyway for Jack Doran.
Clear, clear, clear.
Thanks, Eric. Opening game of a doubleheader in men's soccer tonight. Wake Forest and Duke squaring off. 23rd minute, and Wake Forest out to a 1-0 lead on a Calvin Harris goal that was spectacular. trying to create some separation in this crowded South Region race. The Olympic gold medalist Angela Hucles is with me, Jonathan Yardley, watching this with you to open Friday night. Clemson and NC State will meet in the second game of the doubleheader. Wake Forest, as you see, number 2 in the country, 4-1 on the season. That one loss at Wake Forest, the two both ACC semifinalists a year ago. Duke is only 2-3, but a couple of wins in the ACC South and took Clemson to overtime with a young group playing a little bit differently than they have the last few years, has really energized the Duke program. This is Connor Kelly, one of those new insertions in the lineup.
Again! Hey! Good job!
A throw in for Duke and gives us a chance to show you Calvin Harris in the 20th minute. Watch this finish and enjoy it.
And just that build-up, Wake Forest possessing, being patient in that attack, and being able to find Harris out wide and just taking that first-time strike, almost like a cross, but not, in the back of the net, hitting the crossbar, the post, putting Wake Forest up 1-0.
Well, that's how we got to this 1-0 score line. See what else Duke and Wake Forest have in store for us. You can see Duke trying to press high still. Just made a couple more changes, bringing in Nick Periano and Nico Macri. This is Antino Lopez. Playing long out of the back for Duke, looking for Macri. Angela, what have we made of these first 25 minutes? Wake Forest has the lead, obviously, but what else have you seen from each team?
Well, I think besides the goal, it's been back and forth, some good possession on both sides of the ball here. And Duke, nice response, too, from being scored upon. They got back down into the final third. And actually, I think they're starting to hold on to the ball a bit more and try to build up in that attack. It's a good possession by them, and Wake Forest, just nice finish, being efficient with their opportunities.
Peter Stroud, footwork into the corner. Tried to beat Escribano and did not come close this time. It'll be a Wake throw-in out of the back.
Duke definitely with some of that youth, as you mentioned too, Jonathan, and being able to also grow, not just throughout this game, but throughout the season as well. I think even the last time when we covered them together, I mean, you can see a clear difference too in terms of every player showing a little bit more confidence on the field, on the ball, that ability to take on and have the confidence to do so 1v1. So it's actually a really nice matchup tonight when you look at the personnel on each squad and also the depth that they both bring.
It was interesting talking to John Kerr, the Duke head coach. He felt like he changed his tactics and his style of play to match his players and what they do well. Then we were getting great distance covered, great energy levels on the data metrics they had, and it was also backed up by the eye test of what his players like to do, what situations they thrived in. And so it's a much more up-tempo team, if you will. And, well, a little bit more enjoyable for us to watch as well. I think it made Bobby Muse shiver a little more than normal watching game tape for Wake Forest. That cross from Hernandez, deceptively dangerous, and hooked away by Ian Murphy, the left back. This is Periano, one of those freshmen. He's still only 17. He's a 2003 birthday. Do you want to feel old?
You weren't speaking to me, were you?
Is that before or after the gold medal?
Then I'm really old. Periano, definitely one of those players. He gives that spark, that energy. We talked about this team being youthful but energetic for Duke. Periano finding his moments as well. Getting goals in overtime. I mean, to have that ability off the bench and as a freshman, adding to this Duke squad.
Here's Machop Chol. Cleared by Murphy at the back for Duke. Here's Holland Rula, the Wake left back. The pass rolls through everybody and finds Pulisic. Now this is the first match of 2 tonight on the ACC network. Second game of our doubleheader follows this one. NC State hosting number 3 Clemson at Dale Soccer Field in Raleigh, right here on ACC network and the ESPN app. It's only 3 years ago NC State upset Clemson when they were ranked, trying to turn the same trick tonight. It would be a big upset, believe me. Clemson, one of the powers at the moment, led the conference in scoring last year. Periano's carry and cross, unable to connect with anybody in white. That loud voice you hear is Bobby Muse, the Wake Forest head coach, directing his press. Encouraging his press, you might say. He's an intense guy. I've covered Bobby Muse for a long time and always enjoy talking with him. He's got great stories, and he can crack you up. And then he can turn deadly serious when it gets to the on-field stuff as well.
Yeah, it's hard to decipher if he was joking or serious with a couple of the comments he made. I'm glad he clarified for us.
Yeah, if you don't want to be gullible and dealing with Bobby Muse, he'll get you. Matthias Frick, number 3, wearing the captain's armband for Duke.
Yeah, and what a fantastic story for Frick as well, coming into the program as a freshman, starting out, and then getting 3 red cards in a row, changing his attitude, and hasn't really even gotten maybe 1 yellow card since then. Become the captain of this squad. Someone that these players can rely on and understand how he can lead out of example as well.
He got to go on the trip to China. There's a joint Duke-Stanford program that sends players on service trips, sends athletes on service trips in the summer. They call it the ACE program. Nothing like a little humility. We're talking elite institutions here. And that's still kind of a nascent program, but a cool one. And Matthias Frick, just one of the Duke athletes to take part in that last summer, or 2 summers ago, I should say. Obviously, not a whole lot of international travel going down in 2020. David Rona in up front, replacing Kyle Holcomb. Colin Thomas also came in earlier. Chris Gardarson in for Duke. Antino Lopez started this. He's continued forward, number 5. Here is Gardarson. Great delivery. Too high for Macri, attacking the back post.
But you could see what they were trying to do, and great build-up. As you said, Lopez starting that off. Some good combination play, and Gardarson just barely missing that connection.
I love a good center back run forward. I mean, it's
right?
So much fun. You get the interception, you play the first entry ball, You're like, all right, I'll keep going. Let's see what happens. It kind of gets everybody up on their feet.
I don't give a shit if he got the ball. Come on.
Calvin Harris down. You may have heard Bobby Muse's rather vehement rejection of just what happened.
Yeah, and I have to agree with Coach Muse. I mean, the approach against Harris just from behind. Again, just a dangerous tackle here by McCree. Coming studs up as well.
Did you have a word with 11? Did you make sure you talked to him? Okay.
Harris back on his feet, and you may have been able to hear. You certainly were able to see the Wake Forest frustration that no card was issued on the play. We apologize if any unseemly language makes it to you. No fans in the stands, so we get to hear from the benches. And believe me, we enjoy it, but we do catch a few no-nos from time to time.
Chris, you got the thrower. You got throwing it.
34th minute, Wake Forest on top thanks to a tremendous Calvin Harris strike. This is Rona, came in off the bench. Machop Chol will chase this. Escribano, dual U.S. and Spanish citizen. Grew up in the Dallas area. As that cross comes in, Pulisic came for it and punches well. Still Wake Forest, though, with Suzuki. Rula's delivery looking for Chol. And Duke just hacking blindly away there rather than trying to play out via a pass and keep possession, and it plays right into Wake Forest's hands.
Yeah, Wake is going to enjoy that, to be able to hold on to the possession, losing it, and then get it right back again. And that's, Duke has to do a better job just holding on to that ball once they do win it. Otherwise, they will be under a lot of defense for most of this game.
Here's Chol, and Lopez came over to clear that one away. Third corner kick for Wake Forest. They still have just the one shot in the game, but searching for more. Omar Hernandez. They're going to call offside. So it'll be a Duke free kick. Duke opened the year losing 4-2 at Kentucky, and it was an eye-opener, and Kentucky is now top 5 in the country, but it's still a bit of a surprise for an ACC team to fall that early, giving up 4 goals. They felt like set pieces were a big part of that problem. But boy, have they responded. Beat NC State twice, lost to North Carolina and Clemson, but really competitive games in both of those. And you see 4 of the 9 goals given up have been from set pieces. Almost scored from a corner kick tonight with Lopez's header. Garrison Tubbs making one-man miss.
Set pieces can be so critical, especially when you're playing against teams that do so well in that possession. Duke has had some opportunities. They have created some chances, and again, just being able to capitalize and be efficient when they do have those opportunities.
I mean, it's always such a great equalizer, right? And we've seen it time and again. The team that plays, quote, better football, the team that has possession, that has the ball, can be knocked off. And over the course of 20 games, maybe they have a better record, but especially come tournament time, you hold on, you score from a set piece, and you're moving on. Oscar Sears, 20-year-old freshman from Stockholm, comes on, replacing Chol. Rona now playing that target forward role, comes back inside for Wake. Banal Kazar looking. Hard tackle on Thomas. Well done at the back by Duke. Haven't even called the name very often of Lewis McGarvey, number 4, holding mid for the Blue Devils. Now, before we tell you about him, we ought to tell you that our Sunday best coming up in a couple of days here on ACC Network starts off with Wake Forest and Duke. Familiar matchup, but it's field hockey starting at noon. Notre Dame and Louisville in women's soccer to follow at 1:30. And then we'll close out our Sunday best with a volleyball doubleheader. Louisville and Pitt in the 3:30 game. Virginia Tech and Duke in the 5:30 game. That's our Sunday best right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Subs coming fast and furious here as we close down the first half. Chase Oliver will come in for Wake Forest. Scored 2 goals against Pitt in the exhibition game. That doesn't count in the statistics to grab everybody's attention. And he's yet another one from the Atlanta United Academy for Wake Forest.
And he's competitive. He's a competitor himself, and I think a little bit of just also trying to prove himself and show what he really can bring. Very dynamic in that attack.
Escorbano, room for the ball on the far side. This is Thomas driving it wide after receiving the pass from Oliver. And Wake with Colin Thomas wide on the left has seemed a little more direct.
And he's a lefty. I mean, he has his setup right there. Was a great opportunity. Had some space and time as well. And good patience there, finding the right players in the right moments too for Wake.
He's still listed as having played 7 minutes at goalkeeper earlier this season, and I brought it up to Bobby Muse, and he started laughing, and he says, as soon as you see him come off the bench, you'll know he's no goalkeeper. And there's no way in my right mind I was going to do it. Even if I needed to put a field player in goal, he would not be the one I would pick.
He's scrappy. He could, I think, confuse a few people.
He could Mike McGee it. Not a lot on that shot in the end, but it is a third save for Pannenberg. There's a turnover in the attacking third for Duke. Periano tried a creative pass and then whistled for the foul. He'll tell you he got ball, and maybe he did, but a little hip check first. There's that Duke press, turning it over again. Periano trying to combine with Stroud, but good recovery, won back by Wake Forest. It's not like Suzuki and Hernandez don't know anything about counter pressing.
You just tell that pressure too. Duke putting Wake Forest under, and how much turnover they're really being able to create right now. And it's really being intentional about picking their moments and doing it together as a group. But also being able to hold that ball as an outlet pass up high.
Oliver's early delivery. Pulisic stayed on his line. And the freshman Clements able to play it out for a Wake Forest throw. Holland Rula over to throw, junior from Birmingham, Alabama, but also came through the FC Dallas Academy. Driven low, Pulisic with hands to it, and Ian Murphy able to straddle it in his own penalty area and get it away for Duke with some possession. Can they hit on the counter now? They won't get the chance. Escorbano with the foul. And a yellow card coming. Of all challenges, it's the one that's tactical rather than the one that's vicious that winds up getting punished. So the first yellow card, the second yellow card, I beg your pardon. Daniel Wright from Duke also picked one up. Now tomorrow, what a college football triple header we have for you here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Noon Eastern, Clemson hosting Syracuse, followed at 4 o'clock by Georgia Tech and Boston College. And then in the nightcap, our ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. Pannenberg unable to hold that one cleanly as Miami takes on Virginia, 8 o'clock Eastern Saturday night here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Oliver on the run as the game opens up. Sears trying to keep it running, trying to find Thomas. Not going to get that call. And Wake Forest able to keep possession here. 44th minute. Calvin Harris's goal separates the teams. Duke trying to go 3-1 and force Clemson to follow suit in the nightcap. North Carolina is off this weekend. Something which would seem very strange to say in a normal year. You don't usually have the schedule spread out this much. The only reason Wake is playing... Yeah, though they have. The only reason Wake is playing its third game in 11 days is due to a September COVID cancellation of the game against Clemson that forced it to become a midweek game. Well, what'd you make of the first half, Angela, as we're in the final 30 seconds here?
Well, Wake definitely with that possession and in good chunks of time and being patient, getting that goal. Duke putting some good pressure as well to win that ball in some dangerous areas. Just haven't been able to convert, although they have created some chances. Getting a few more numbers in that attack could be helpful for them to actually try to get on that scoreboard.
Wake Forest will take a 1-0 lead on that scoreboard into the halftime break. Back and forth first half. Chippy at times. Little animosity flowing at times between these teams. Separated by only 84 miles. And right now separated by Calvin Harris's 20th minute strike. That hit bar, that hit post, and wound up hitting the top of the net. Through 45 minutes, Wake Forest 1, Duke nothing. We'll go around the ACC. Check out score from earlier today as well. 1-0 Wake at the half. Angela Hucley's the Olympic gold medalist, watching and enjoying the first of two tonight with you. And we turn to first half highlights. And Duke, not the ranked team in the battle, but got off to the best scoring chance early. 13th minute, Antino Lopez attacking the corner.
Yeah, Lopez getting up and over everyone on Wake Forest, making that connection initially, and then on that next corner kick, not able to convert. And then for Wake Forest on the attack with some great possession in that attacking third, hitting off Machop Chol, Swallen making that final pass over to Harris, who takes that one home, hits the post, hits the crossbar, but finds the back of the net.
I'm still trying to figure out just how that one wound up where it did in the net, but tremendous finish from Harris. Duke actually the edge in shots and shots on goal in that first half, but of course the quality of Harris's chance is certainly the difference right now. As we get ready to start the second half, we're also getting ready to start thinking about the ACC tournament. 8 teams out of the 11 playing this fall will make it, the top 4 in each region. So this is if the season ended today. Even if it ended right now, Wake Forest would win the South. And rather than seeding everybody 1 through 8, it's the 1 from the South against the 4 from the North, and vice versa. So does everybody follow that? So this is how it could shake out. Coverage beginning November 15th. On ACC Network and ESPNU. So at least none of the South teams have to play each other in the quarterfinals, but you certainly could end up with an intra-region matchup in the semis. And again, right now, Wake and Pitt would wind up on opposite sides of the bracket. Cary, North Carolina, the spot for the title game in November. Teams making their way back to the field at Koskinen Stadium. And how did we arrive at that bracket? Well, these are the standings. Again, only 5 teams in the South, but super competitive. 4 of those 5 will advance. 4 out of 6 from the North. Pitt dominating the North right now after edging Virginia in overtime. But this South, Angela, is so competitive, with Duke trying to stay with the big 3.
Yeah, I'm just looking at those other stats too. Wake Forest, Carolina, Clemson 2-1. Duke hanging on there, but really it can be anyone's game and moment to really elevate and push, and that's what they're looking to do, stay in that top.
And I am curious to see who emerges in the North after Pitt, because at 4-0 they've already established themselves #1 team in the country, big goal differential, but we'll see who else can come out of there. Notre Dame takes on Virginia tomorrow. That'll be a big one. And then you and I will see Pitt, Notre Dame next week. But right here, we're also going to see the second half. Wake Forest and Duke, what second half adjustments are you looking for, Angela, from each side?
And I really think it's been such an incredible matchup in the first half, but for Wake Forest, just that quicker movement when they're under pressure. Duke doing a nice job putting them under pressure in moments, but quicker movement of players, which would execute quicker ball movement. And Duke getting a few more numbers in that attack. We've said they've created some opportunities. Can they, on that transition, in the run of play, get a few more numbers from their midfield to help support in that attack?
Daniel Wright had the corner kick that led to Lopez's headed chance. Andrew Pannenberg in the Wake goal with 3 stops in that first half. Wake unbeaten in the last 5 games between these teams. And they've put up the last 3 games they've played. Wake has won them all, and they've scored 10 goals in the process to Duke's 3. So we'll see if Wake can find that kind of separation and break it open in the second half, or if Duke can rally, as they did here in Durham a long time back, looking back, 2013, the last time they didn't lose to Wake, tying 2-2 here. Luis Rendon, the late equalizer in that one. Underway in the second half from Koskinen Stadium in Durham. ACC men's soccer action. Duke in white, attacking left to right, north to south in the second half. And Wake Forest leading it 1-0 in black and gold. Trying to go to 3-1 in the ACC South to start the season.
That's definitely one of the reasons why this game really such an important one, just to be able to control your own destiny, not rely on another team's record. And just get those 3 points when you really can.
O'Connell sending that in. Here, Andrew Pannenberg calling no service. In the end, it drifted toward him for an easy catch. Scotty Taylor and Daniel Wright return to start the second half for Duke. Holland Rula stepping forward for Wake Forest. Kyle Holcomb, Jake Swallen back in for Wake Forest. And Machop Chol as well. It will be a Wake Forest throw on that far side.
Body in. No foul.
This is Swallen. He set up the goal. I don't know how much credit he can take for it, but it was a good pass over. Duke going long, looking for Taylor. Garrison Tubbs with it. Bit of a risky touch from Pannenberg, but he did get that to Rula. Lewis McGarvey comes sliding through, and we'll get a yellow card for handling it.
It was a nice defensive effort there by Taylor, making that long run. A lot of times you feel like you don't want to put that much pressure if you're the only one. You see here, definitely clear handball there by McGarvey, slowing down play.
Calvin Harris chases. Oh, and he goes down awkwardly. This is not good. They'll call it right away. I don't know if there was any contact there or not, and I'm almost more scared that there wasn't.
And you can see actually Harris looks like he just steps awkwardly with his foot there. At first there wasn't really contact, but the concern would definitely be around where he just didn't land evenly with his foot.
Calvin Harris, born in England, moved to Hong Kong when he was 10 and then New Zealand when he was 14. His dad, Terry, played for Sheffield United. 6 goals a year ago, and his third of the abbreviated season in 6 games tonight. So we see Calvin Harris lying down right now, but boy, in the first half he was on top of the world when this ball came all the way across him. Harris at the top of your screen, at the top of the 18.
And you just see just his positioning that he takes, his ability to just stay away from any defender, to give himself that time to strike it first time. What a strike it was. Fantastic to that far post.
Checking on his ankle, it appears. And good to see Calvin Harris back on his feet.
Especially
Wake Forest has had such bad luck with injuries.
Yeah.
Michael DeShields in preseason. The 2 ACL injuries, Zaris and McMaster last year, which always get lumped together. They were not the exact same injury, not the exact same situation for those players. And again, Isaiah Parente banged up, didn't make the trip for this one either, normally starting in the midfield. Now in the second half, you can re-enter as a sub if you're taken out, and so Harris will come out here and will be eligible to come back. So Colin Thomas, who was so active in about 15 minutes of action in the first half, steps on for Harris. And we resume. Wake leading 1-0, 48th minute. First of 2 tonight on the ACC network in soccer. 3 if you want to extend it to the volleyball match that preceded us. And plenty more to come all weekend. Football tomorrow, Sunday best. Rounding out the weekend on the 25th. Here's Antino Lopez stepping up from center back. Finds Periano. Part of this young core for Duke. He'll drive it himself, but drive it high and wide of the target. You like him pulling the trigger from out there?
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a nice step, though, by Lopez and finding Periano. He was the second player to find there, and not just that pass that would be a little bit more apparent. And you know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, because it can kind of keep the game honest, keep your goalkeeper honest. Pannenberg just trying to look for different options. So you want to see Duke building in that attack, being a little bit patient, but at the same time, having some of that variety, I think, would be beneficial as well.
Scotty Taylor chases this one, has numbers, playing it across, and Pannenberg falls on it after Benalcazar had blocked the attempted cross.
And really just inches there, Jonathan, to be able to pull that ball back slightly and find your attacker there. But that was
What's
a nice
the call
ball
here?
on the ground.
We go back to the previous play.
Yeah. But Taylor just being able to find that space out wide and just pulling it back enough. Again, just having a few more options too in the box, having that variety. Duke is in the right position. They just need to have a few more numbers in there.
Wright and Periano stand over the ball. Duke has been dangerous from free kicks this season. Watch out for McGarvey, number 4. It's Periano. Back post. And Duke will reset. Ian Murphy. Clements playing it down, and Pannenberg bobbles at the near post, ultimately holds on.
And that first one well defended by Wake, and on that second service too, Clemens just needing to pull that ball back again. Not going to be able to beat Pannenberg with that direct hit.
Garrison Tubbs getting ready to restart. Wake Forest freshman said he was too good not to play. We were going to play him anyway, even before Michael DeShields got hurt. Probably was going to see some time at right back, which is already a crowded spot for Wake. The Shields hurt in the preseason, and Tubbs stepping right in at center back alongside Benalcazar. Out the feint by Thomas. Rula working against Clements, the freshman. And it's out for a Wake Forest corner kick. No? They give it as a goal kick in the end. Even better for Clements.
And either way, you can tell things getting heated there on the field. The competition and competitiveness coming out.
Oh, there's some good chirping going on, Angela.
Always
Be glad we don't have mics in the center circle. That pass ran inside, looking for the diagonal connection. You can see the frustration, and it'll be a goal kick. Now this Sunday, we'll start off our Sunday best with field hockey, Wake Forest and Duke. Same matchup. Check it out Sunday at noon Eastern on the turf. And then at 1:30, women's soccer. Critical game in the race to be in their top 8 as Notre Dame and Louisville square off. And then a volleyball doubleheader to round out the day. Louisville and Pitt at 3:30, Virginia Tech and Duke at 5:30. All of that here on ACC Network, our Sunday best, and of course, the ESPN app. Duke on the front foot right now. Just picked up corner kick number 3. And Nick Periano will serve this right-footed. Off the post, rebound is cleared straight up. It was Lopez again. Pannenberg punches, that's blocked. And Wake Forest survives by the hair on its chinny chin chin. We'll get a look at that when we think we have a second. How many chances did Duke have in that one sequence? Maybe 5?
Yeah, I mean, just looking so dangerous, just so close on so many opportunities here. I think saved off the line, perhaps, too, off that far post.
Yep. Clements pressuring in the penalty area. All ball, says John Brady, the referee. Boy, Duke is really taking it to Wake Forest right now. They're swarming without the ball and driving forward with it.
And really looking dangerous so much off of the corner kicks, too, for Duke. These are where the opportunities are happening for them. You see Lopez again getting that strike off. Looked like it was Suzuki off that post, really taking it at first, and then so many more opportunities as well.
This cross comes in. Daniel Wright trying to get a shot off. It's blocked. Wake trying to counter, and Clements into the tackle to deny that. How about this young Duke team? Wake Forest maybe not at full strength, but they're still Wake Forest, a headline program right now. And Duke giving them all they can handle in the second half, just as they pressed Clemson last week.
And then when you factor in, as you talked about earlier, Jonathan, just 3 games for Wake, the toughness too, not just any old team, but you have such energy expenditure from those, not just physically, but mentally as well. And then to have that turnaround so quickly, less rest for Wake Forest versus Duke, clearly has that energy. And a little confidence coming off that Clemson too, because they did play so well.
Kyle McCurley on, veteran midfielder for Wake. And this to me is Bobby Muse trying to get control of the game with better possession in the middle of the park. Stephen O'Connell tackled off the ball by Jake Swallen. Escribano moves forward for Wake. There's that Duke pressure forcing the turnover. Periano to Wright. Holland Rula jumped that pass and starts the Wake counter. There's McCurley finding Swallen under pressure. Frick, the center back, stepping up on him.
Done well. Ready, Scotty.
58th minute as Duke builds up. Garrison Tubbs won that one in the tackle with Taylor. Duke wanted that one to be called out of play. Stayed in. Swallen switches for Rula. This was a point both coaches talked to us about, breaking the initial pressure and switching the field. Colin Thomas. Mishit the cross, and that will give Duke a chance to get some subs in. Angela, I know it's just a COVID-related development. You had an odd number of teams, so you had to create these regions and figure out a format. But I don't mind it. I don't mind the Carolina teams playing each other over and over. I don't mind some of the other matchups. Again, maybe this region is a little stacked, but it's fun in the regular season.
And obviously for those reasons, right, the COVID-related reasons, being safe. But when you look at the competition level, I mean, these are the types of games that coaches want to have for their players, for that game experience. They've had some opportunities to develop a little bit more in practices, having some time with some of the games being a little bit more spread out. But, I mean, this is what it's all about. And Wake definitely being a little bit more clean with their touches and their passes. I think got a little bit too casual there. Duke was able to take advantage and hold on and maintain some of that possession a bit more.
Second appearance of the season for Kobe Carr, number 2 for Wake Forest. Really interesting story and player who we thought we would see a lot more of. He was supposed to be the starting right back for Wake Forest a year and a half ago, spring 2019. Hurt in the last spring game. Missed all of last season. And it also set off a domino effect because Alistair Johnston wound up moving to right back for Wake to fill that spot. And he wound up having a tremendous season there. I asked Bobby Muse, who's your most pro-ready player? He didn't hesitate, Alistair Johnston right away. And you've seen that in his quick transition to Major League Soccer with Nashville. So this is Carr. Now a redshirt sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas, north of Houston. Thomas and Rula excelling here, opening it up. Low cross, boy was that dangerous. Pulisic didn't know what to do. He was backpedaling and nobody could arrive at the back post in time.
But did you see Rula there with the execution, beating defenders, combination, making that cross? I mean, Holcomb just had to really slide just to get there. Good work off that flank. Rula coming up into that flank area.
So whether it was the subs or some instilled determination from Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons have dealt with that Duke pressure for the moment and stepped into the attacking half themselves now. 61st minute from Koskinen Stadium in Durham. First of 2 soccer games on ACC Network tonight. Clemson and NC State meet in the nightcap. Jonathan Yardley and the Olympic gold medalist Angela Hucles watching this one with you. And Wake Forest in front on a 20th minute goal from Calvin Harris. He did leave the game injured in this second half, but walked off on his own, so we don't know the severity at this point. Duke has really applied pressure. 4 saves for Andrew Pannenberg in the Wake Forest goal. But Duke has Wake Forest has maintained the 1-0 lead.
Find it. Let go.
Taylor worked really hard to get inside of Benalcazar and ultimately win the free kick.
Back out. Keep backing.
And it's just almost even a back and forth type of scenario here, and really coming down to that possession and holding on to the ball. Wake Forest definitely now more on that front foot, putting more pressure under Duke, and that's really the switch as well. Just where they're putting pressure and applying pressure on Duke is a bit higher up the field right now.
Holcomb trying to hold it up for Wake. McCurley kept it moving, was taken down.
Up, Chris. Chris, go there. Backside, Murph, backside. Step up. 50, right shoulder. Well done, guys. Come on.
Suzuki with the blind switch. It will find a teammate, but it will also send Wake backward a little bit. Duke out shooting Wake 11-3 in this game. I mean, that is a surprising number. Stats do not tell the whole story, of course, but 11-3, it's already the second highest shot total Wake has conceded this year. The only team to get more was Clemson, who outshot Wake 13-11 in that 2-1 Tiger win.
Well, we could see
Connor Kelly re-enters for Duke.
Those shots just being applied in one play, and the corner kicks, really, those set pieces have been the opportunity for Duke. Have really created the most dangerous chances for them. Just haven't been able to find a way to convert yet.
Wake's fewest shots of the year was 8, and that was on Sunday in their overtime win over North Carolina. They still outshot Carolina. Shots were 8-6 in that game. Just something we keep an eye on. McGarvey won that for Duke. Clements goes back to the goalkeeper, Pulisic.
Turn.
Connor Kelly on the move. McGarvey wants it, playing it low. There's the, off the boot of Taylor. It should have been the tying goal. Scotty Taylor can't believe it.
And a little patience, a little luck with that turnover from Duke, and just barely missing it by a toenail. Taylor is not able to connect, and once again, just that frustration. Duke building, being able to hold on, stay patient, win that ball, get into the attack quickly on that transition, but just unable to convert.
Pulisic going to be put under a bit of pressure here. Another bouncing ball. Dealt with it just fine, though. Taylor was already set to be subbed out right after that. You know he's still kicking himself. Nico Macri up front for Duke. Kelly making the exact same run as Gardarson. They were marking each other, but they play for the same team in the center circle.
Force it back. Tino right. Tino right shoulder, watch him. Careful.
Carr, neat 1-2 with Machop Chol into space. Frick out on him, the cross comes in, and Antino Lopez got it away. Did well to make that a throw and not a corner. Pause here as Wake Forest brings Calvin Harris back on, so this is really good to see after he left injured early in the second half.
Understandable. Thank you for that.
Machop Chol comes off.
Watch the thrower. Left. Don't let him bring you down. Strong here. Our ball. No foul. No foul.
Does Wake need to adjust, Angela, to create more, or are they pretty comfortable just working this 1-0 lead right now?
I think the danger for them is just making sure that they don't become casual with that lead. It's not that much of a lead right now. So just maintaining that possession in their attacking half and creating that movement as well. So Duke has had some opportunities, but really making sure they tighten up defensively and just hold on to that ball as much as possible.
Fourth Wake Forest corner. Boy, Benalcazar was in perfect position, couldn't connect on the header. He came flying through with some space.
No foul, no foul, push it back.
Layoff for Thomas, his right-footed effort blocked. Tubbs playing it low, near post. Pulisic scrambled it away off of Wake for a goal kick.
Yeah, just that one difference too. The opportunities here so close. Tubbs just quick movement with that footwork, technical ability in the box, and looks for that near post run, and Harris unable to make that connection.
Second save of the game by Will Pulisic, and he got the bonus of knocking it off of a Wake Forest player to earn the goal kick. You saw a few of the many Atlanta United products with Garrison Tubbs trying to center that one for Wake Forest, and it has been a really successful pipeline the last few years. 5 players making up 27% of Wake Forest's minutes coming into the game, coming through one MLS academy. Some big contributors there, and Chol and Hernandez adding the counting stats. And it's important, Angela, in this day and age, MLS academies pull in talent from so many different places. You want to have good relationships with those clubs and the players.
And I think what it does too is especially having that environment and understanding that commonality of what's expected of you once you get into that next level. And the transition doesn't become that as much challenging in terms of the speed of play and understanding of how to really treat it like a professional environment.
And believe me, I love a good underdog story of a kid coming from nowhere or coming from a non-MLS academy, but it's just one of the trends that we've seen over the last 5 to 10 years. These rosters have gone from, an MLS name popping up somewhere was a bit of a surprise to, on the elite teams, 50% or more of the roster. Duke still looking for that tying goal. Great sliding tackle there. They kept that one moving. There's the finishing touch. Jack Doran once again, 71st minute. We are all tied up, and that was some pretty passing.
And just that build up, such patience here. Pariano finding Doran in a fantastic position so that all he has to do is take a touch and then shoot to finish. What a nice little ball from Pariano there. Quick one touch, giving him the time and space to finish that ball. And what a finish by Doran to even this one up.
Well deserved too for Duke, which had controlled large parts of this second half. even if most of the chances were coming from set pieces. They get the tying goal from great footwork. And Jack Doran, who was an injury question mark, missed last week due to injury, didn't start tonight. Able to finish off with his 3rd goal of the season. The others coming on penalty kicks. Oh, no, I beg your pardon, he had 1 from a set piece. And we are all tied up 1-1.
Nick Periano, again, coming up big in big moments. Had that golden goal, double overtime versus NC State, and here an assist on a goal to get back in this match versus Wake Forest.
And not just assist, but a heck of a look too, right?
Fantastic, quick touch and opportunity, quick decision. Set that up nicely.
Periano will take this corner. Duke full of confidence right now. McGarvey kept it moving. And a foul whistled against the Blue Devils. It'll be a Wake free kick. Well, did you expect anything less than a tight game in this South region?
I mean, we've been talking about it, though. Just the nature of this game has been so back and forth. Possession has been on both sides of the ball for both teams. We talked about how competitive these two teams have been with each other, and Duke definitely not letting down at all. Has been on the front foot for a large portion of this match, but Wake Forest equally, you could say the same thing about them as well.
We asked Bobby Muse about what makes this Duke team different than in past years, and he said their energy level. I get tired just watching Duke tape. And whether it's young legs or fresh legs or a different kind of mindset, it is a different Duke than we've seen over the last 5 years.
Entering for Wake Forest, number 17, Omar Hernandez.
Omar Hernandez re-entering for Wake Forest as Cinti Clements is down. Cintayu Clements had only played 7 minutes before this game, I beg your pardon. Stepping in there at right back, born in Ethiopia, adopted when he was 5 with his sister who plays club soccer now in the Seattle area. And standout with that Sounders Academy playing alongside Antino Lopez. Sounders, the first MLS team to win the Generation Adidas Cup after international teams started competing. Year after year, it was big international clubs, and it was that Sounders team, including Clements, that broke through. As Stephen O'Connell returns for the goal scorer, Jack Doran. Daniel Wright trying to find O'Connell in space, but exactly what the right pass was, they couldn't agree on. Hernandez back in. Out wide for Chase Oliver. All kinds of space for Kobe Carr. Great first touch, took one man out, cutting it back. Wide open look, Pulisic denies Wake Forest right there. Calvin Harris was looking for a second, and Will Pulisic with the kick save. And a beaut for Duke. At the other end, McCree will try it himself, and Andrew Pannenberg up to the task as well. Opening up a little in this second half now, with Wake not protecting a lead anymore. And Lopez whistled for the foul at midfield. It'll be a Wake free kick.
Again, the opportunities, Jonathan, from one end to the other. Great save there by Pulisic to keep Duke even here, but again, just that quick transition. Duke finding that opportunity at the other end.
Now a reminder, following our game, second half of our doubleheader, number 3 Clemson over at Dale Soccer Field in Raleigh, about 20 minutes away, taking on NC State. Dallin Cuff and Charlie Davies standing by to talk all things ACC soccer, but especially Clemson trying to keep going and maybe keep pace in the South, depending on what Wake Forest does here. If either team is able to come out with a win, Clemson will be trying to match them with 9 points, while NC State will be looking for the upset. It's right here, of course, ACC Network and the ESPN app.
And number 14, Peter Stroud.
Peter Stroud and Scotty Taylor, both starters, come back on for Duke.
That's okay. That's okay. Win it now. We win it now. Up there. Lewis, let's go over. Good right here. Yep. Good right here.
Believe it is half of the league's games have gone to overtime in conference play. Maybe slightly less after Pitt took down Louisville 4-1 earlier today. Pitt was already up 1-0 when Abubakar Kamara was sent off in the first half, and although Louisville got it to 2-1 in the second half, Pitt came away with the W to go to 4-0 in conference play. That's turned over. Periano trying to pick the right pass. He did manage to slot it through a very tight window. You can see some of the passes that A, he tries, and B, that he pulls off. This time didn't lead to much more, though. Chase Oliver shooting, and it was blocked by Lopez. Calvin Harris with the left sends it wide of the target.
Let's get up. Gotta get a little closer, yeah? A little closer, come on. Let's go, boys. Man, coming hard. Even. Step up.
Taylor laid that really well into the path. That's a risky tackle. Duke's still going. As O'Connell got to his feet.
So many plays, I feel like, in this match where the referees had to look and see if you play advantage or not. Sometimes it's better to make that call.
Dangerous ball right through the 6-yard box. Duke still with it. Clements got ahead to that, but did not trouble Pannenberg in the end. We'll pad the save totals. Lung-busting run for Cinti Clements. And you could see that little bobble at the back from Wake, and Duke pounced. It was like they smelled blood. This was our pressing cue. Let's get on him. And Wake able to deal with it here. But that ability to read it as a group and go as a group is so promising. Onside here, driven wide of the target. Peter Stroud could have put Duke in front. Golden chance wasted.
Duke doing such a nice job, really, with their defensive work to be able to win the ball back, right? Getting the ball, finding Stroud in space, and just passing that post. Using the inside of his right, bends away from the goal there. But the opportunities that Duke has really created in this match could have put them up a few goals already by now. Again, these missed opportunities, this is probably what they're going to be looking back regardless of the outcome of this match. But it's their defensive pressure right now, the ability to step up, as you said, Jonathan, to read the cues, which there are some that they definitely have to read and do that together. But that's what's putting them in good position to win the ball back and then also do that counter in the attack.
Now, if you remember that foul on Stephen O'Connell a moment ago that the advantage was played, the referee, John Brady, did go back and give Garrison Tubbs of Wake a yellow card, so he was on top of that. But you combine that Scotty Taylor miss with that Peter Stroud miss, and that's a couple of prime opportunities Duke let go. Tackles are flying fast and furious here. Stroud's pocket picked.
Steven tighter, Steven tighter. 50, far guy, one far guy, Mati, right shoulder. No foul, force it back. Good, good, up, Steven, go, go. Step up, step up.
But now Kazar.
Go across, good.
To Rula.
Force it back. North left shoulder.
Machop Chol tripped up by Clements on the near side. Dangerous free kick for Wake Forest. Remember, Duke has had trouble defending these at times. Taken quickly. Swollen, left-footed delivery, not up to his standard. Hernandez trying to duplicate his heroics from Sunday night. It'll just be a Wake throw on that far side and more substitutions.
Entering for Wake Forest, number 12, Takuma Suzuki.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
For the Blue Devils, number 8, Jack Doran.
Jack, 21, 21. Hey, Lewis,
Jack Doran returns the goal scorer, and
throw it, you got the throw it.
Cinti Clements, it was looking like he might need a breather. We'll get one here. Again, he's played 8 minutes all year. Least you can do is cut the guy a break. Now tonight, after our second game, which is Clemson and NC State, it'll be the All-ACC team with a full breakdown of today's action plus highlights and scores from around the conference in every sport. All the news information as well. Nobody covers the ACC like we do. 10 o'clock Eastern, give or take, depending on overtime, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Murphy's really far wide, really far wide. Up, 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 up. Force it back. Good, good. Go right. Maki, right side. Hey, goal side. Come on, across the body. Hey, 22 here. Good, Murphy. Good.
Ian Murphy had an assist on Doran's goal. Stand-up defense right there. Junior from California. Kyle Holcomb returns for Wake.
Go, boys. Come on. We win this here. Hey, you two, tight back here.
Had the game winner against North Carolina. He wouldn't mind potting one in the next 650. And he's earned a free kick for Wake Forest right at the edge of the area.
Yeah, definitely. With Duke working on those set pieces this season as well, and just to give up a dangerous position, just needing to be careful.
Hey, stay strong, come on, stay strong. Nick, hold there, Nick, hold there. Good? Yeah. Where you want me? Here? All right, keep. Yeah. All right, keep. Here we go. Hey, nothing between you and the wall. Boys, on goal. Here. Hey, strong here. Hey, he's offside. Scotty. Steven, jump off.
Top corner, what a hit! Omar Hernandez comes through in the clutch again, and Wake Forest may steal one on the road.
Wake Forest goal scored by number 17, Omar.
Talking about stepping up in big moments. Hernandez with a phenomenal world-class strike. Top post, far post. Nothing Pulisic can do about that one. Has made game-winning assists, and this time, perhaps a game-winning goal. Fantastic strike and goal by Hernandez.
We said Wake Forest preferred quality strikes to a high quantity of strikes. Gosh, have they provided quality tonight. Calvin Harris in the 20th minute, off the crossbar, off the post, and in. And Omar Hernandez in the 85th minute goes upper 90 from the far side of the penalty area. Wow. What a body blow for Duke. We'll see how they can respond. Less than 6 minutes to try and do it here.
Just the critical elements that set pieces can play. We talked about this a little bit earlier, Jonathan, and that dangerous position that Duke gave up that goal, or that foul as well. And to have the personalities like Hernandez on Wake to step up in those moments.
Yeah, it's a bit naive to give away a free kick right by the edge of your own area in the last 7 minutes. I don't know that that was a necessary foul to give up, but it's always easier said after the fact. McCurley picks out Scholl. Great close control going against Lopez, who stands him up well. Jack Doran now filling in at right back, trying to get forward. McGarvey. Daniel Wright. Using the right side. Time ticking, 4.5 minutes. It'll be a Duke throw, final 4 minutes. Murphy back to O'Connell. Garrison Tubbs with the authoritative clearance up into the empty grandstand. Didn't quite make it to Wallace Wade, but is on its way. Over the top, and it'll give Pannenberg and Wake a little bit of time to kill some clock. I mean, Angela, if you're Duke, you play Clemson tight, you lose in overtime, you outplay Wake for large portions of the second half, and you lose on two just absolutely top-level strikes. I mean, how do you react to back-to-back games like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's challenging. I think sometimes you look at and can talk about experience and just that understanding of how to treat different moments, but Duke for a large part of this match just on that front foot, putting Wake under tremendous pressure, turning the ball over, creating opportunities, and Wake just having that calm confidence, I think, also to understand where they are in the game and not get frazzled by the pressure Duke was putting them under as well, just getting that goal.
Doran had the goal for Duke that tied it in the 71st minute. Free kick coming for Duke here. Can they respond in kind? Or no, they gave a drop ball.
Referee got in the way.
Drop ball because it's changing possession. No, because yeah, they were.
Yeah, some question as to why the clock wasn't stopped earlier. And Wake gonna say, okay, Duke was in possession. Let him take it. That's cleared over the top. Corner kick coming. Duke's been really dangerous on these tonight. Periano sends it in. Foul coming, free kick coming with 1:45 to go as Duke turns up the pressure.
Number 20, Kyle McCurley.
You talk about another dangerous position too. McCurley coming out. You can see studs up a little bit. But good call there by the referee. You see just getting that kick against Stroud there. And now still on the ground.
So 1:45 to go. And we'll see who steps up to this for Duke. Christopher Gardarson, hey, he can deliver a good dead ball. Comes in for Stroud. Now, is he going to call off Periano here? Periano's the 17-year-old freshman. Gardarson, 23-year-old senior. This could be a bit of the changing of the guard here if they let Periano take it. Gardarson wants it, though, you know.
Options. Yeah, if I'm Gardarson, I'm definitely saying this one's mine. You can run over the ball.
This one's mine,
from this
Rook.
Position.
Game on the line, 89th minute. It is Gardarson, and it is too high. Goal kick with the clock running for Wake Forest.
And it is Gardarson, as you said, taking that ball strike, and it just doesn't dip in time. These are really difficult situations to be in terms of that position because you have to get that ball up and over the wall and down so quickly.
Calvin Harris, do you go to goal or do you go to the corner? The answer is corner. 4 Blue Devils converge on Harris. Nobody from Wake Forest within 30 yards of the ball, and John Brady will stop the clock. Those of you tuning in for Clemson and NC State, it started on the ESPN app. We will get you there in about 50 seconds, barring something spectacular late. That's exactly what Duke has in mind. Machop Chol with 3 blocks in the matter of seconds. Last chance for Duke to get it forward with 30 seconds to play. Stephen O'Connell needs to get it forward. Can he get it in here? Will with the right foot. Comes back to Murphy.
4, 3, 2.
Time's gonna run out on Duke. Tremendous performance, tremendous game, and 2 tremendous finishes lift Wake Forest to a 2-1 win over Duke tonight. And first place for now in the South region. Clemson about to follow, trying to keep pace. For my partner Angela Hucleys for our